Welcome to game number 2 of Stoned Ape Games. This is a custom game, invite only. 30 players are in this game, and you can see them all here. We've got a lot of big name players, a lot of badges going around. There's going to be 5 teams with 6 players each. The team captains here are myself, so the winners of the first game. And Lofty. He's in here somewhere. There's Lofty. Some of the other players, though, couldn't play again, like Skilly and some of the others. So Jubalfet he was a big reason that Team 4 won last time, so he's going to be a team captain. Bellum is going to be a team captain, and the Jewish Star Empire. So those are your 5 team captains. So we're going to click refresh here, and you're looking at... We've got some nice, juicy looking stars. Let's real quick, actually, before I do this, look at the custom settings. So formal alliances are turned on. If you don't remember what that means, it means we will have a formal alliance, and that means your ships can go on the stars of your allies and help defend and move across without having to give up stars. To win 50%, all this stuff is standard. For 64 players, so the 20 ticks per production tick, 4 starting stars. We do get 1,000 credits, which is a little bit more than before, and our starting economy instead of 551 is 10-10-2 to give us a little boost early on. Beyond that, and then the level 3 scanning. So that is what we get, and we can see here we've got this nice little cluster here. We've got some nice stars to the north, and not so much down here. Let's scroll out and hit refresh because I know the last person's joined and see what it looks like. Boom, there is our galaxy. So the game has paused, and we're going to take a quick look at what our neighbors are and what's going on. And you can see I did a little bit of pre-planning. Immediate neighbors to my east is Bio M6, Tenerazu, who was on my team last time, didn't want to be a captain, and Macomer. Above Macomer is one of the other captains, Jubalfet. The other captains here we talked about, Lofty in the middle here, the Jewish Star Empire right here, and Bellum down in the south. So you've got a tight pack down here, Lofty with a little more room, and Jubalfet and I up in the top. The way it's going to work, now that we see where everyone is at, it's going to start in reverse order of who had the most stars. So I'm going to pick last because I was the first place on my team. I'll get pick basically 5 and 6. I don't remember who's going first, but now we have a special Discord channel, and we're going to go through and start selecting players. So I've got some serious thinking to do around what makes the most sense. Out of the gates, I know there's a few things like obviously Jubalfet's not going to be on my team, and he's going to want some players up here. Macomer, honestly, might be my first pick, because if I could get him, this would be kind of cutting into Jubalfet and kind of force him this way. So if he ends up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like get in the north, that might be good for me. Tenerazu was with me on the winning team before, good ally. But I'm tempted to go for GB. GB actually is another one that if I get 2 picks, it might be those 2, because then I could just squish on Tenerazu and we could basically be the Western Alliance. So that's really tempting. We've got Yarzis. Newer player, hasn't played in a while. Could be fine, but Luke down here is someone who I've allied with and I know is very strong. But I don't think I'm going to get Luke. I don't think I'm going to get Gingy, who I wouldn't mind allying with, because Bellum's going to need that JC. So these 2 down here are probably going to... I think this whole... I'm not even going to try. It's going to be just awful. But that means there's a void up here. So look to my east, again, Bio, love playing with Bio, and it would really help with the contention here. That being said, as much as I like Bio, if I could get the Dark Lord, That would be pretty nice too. Because then if I could get Macomer, GB, Dark Lord, and myself, and then we just kill Bio and we kill Tenarzu, that is a nice little section of the map. Now, if I get one of these two along the way, that's probably fine too. But I think my first draft is not going to be someone directly next to me. Just like when you expand stars, you don't get the first star. You want to get out as far as you can before you collect in. So yeah, I think those. Yeah, these center stars are not like, this is a dangerous place to be, and so there's a lot of good players. Like I would love to play with Kane. Not going to happen. I would love to play with a Stone Ape. Couldn't be further from him. Potato, Bimbo. I would play with Anus. Everyone loves Anus. We've got Dalinar over here, Spymord. I would love to be on Spymord's team. Like, and I guess here's the other thing that I could do. If everyone's all being greedy around here, I could pick 4 players up in this corner and just sacrifice myself. I don't think anyone would expect that. You know, I could just do like myself and 1, 2, 3, 4, and get maybe like me and one other player down here, and we just go. So I think those are my 2 moves. Like just look for clumped strong players in non-contentious area, like I think the north is going to be, or I go for the west. So it looks like I'm going to try, but a lot of this stuff I don't have a choice. 4 people are going to be picked before me. So let's see how that goes and what options I have ahead of me. But that's my gut reaction on what the state of the board looks like in this very interesting Game 2, the Stone Ape 30-player custom game. All right, so let's get into the draft. Again, this is a nice little map that was created in Discord. And you can see kind of the starting locations and the color. So we're going to be looking at the red cluster. That's the good guys, Team Mason. We're starting close to Jubal Fett. Before the draft, I had a lot of conversations with Jubal Fett before any picks were done, specifically around Mac Comer here. I told him I really, really wanted him, but I didn't want to draft him first. And I didn't want to draft him first because I wanted to establish more of a southern, kind of like my southern front. And it was really only here I that would take him. And so I was trying to convince him basically to let me take him so he could focus on the north. So he could have the northern side, I'll have the western side, let me have him. That was the conversation, and he seemed amenable to it. And that was really the main pre-draft negotiations that I had. So let's get into what transpired. Basically, the first pick, you had Jubal Fett out of the gate picking Belson. Makes sense, right? He wants his immediate neighbor and a very strong player in Belson to be on his team. So next you go to Jewish Star Empire, and he picked Gingy. So he was the Short Kings from last game. Pre-game, I didn't know where Jewish Star was going to go, but that makes sense to pick that off. And then you get to Lofty. Where will Lofty go? Lofty picks Dalinar, a close person to him, making sure that he has a friendly neighbor and kind of moving his power base to the east where there's the least amount of contention. It makes sense. I probably would have jumped further away from that, but that was his choice. And then you get Bellum's first choice, which was Kane, and again, makes sense. And then it gets to me, and so here's where, and I kind of jumped ahead. Here's where it my logic was. Basically, I trusted I would get Macomer, because if he took Macomer, I would just go and take someone up here and screw him. What this also did is that right out of the gates, I looked at that. If I get Macomer, myself, these two. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 5, 6. I get 2 more picks. 2 more picks. Tenarzu and Bio being left open. And Chicago Reaper open. So I assumed that I would not get one of those 3, which means I would take somebody's 6th resource and kill them. I really wanted to get Bio. I thought that would be good, but I needed to kind of roll the dice and hope that one of those 3 would become food for the rest of my alliance. And so I picked Dark Lord and GB, 2 strong players, and giving me opportunities to kill people in between us. So that's where we got to, and this was basically the end of the first pick into round 3. And we've all kind of got a northern, western, eastern, and then the south is already a bit of a mess. Then you look to the next picks were Bellum, who took Luke, and then Lofty, who took Not a Scam, Scam Paid from last game. This was probably very pivotal because the fact I didn't expect Bellum to go jump over and pick Luke. Luke's a strong player, well liked. Jewish Star Empire wanted to pick him up. I actually was going to try to snipe him as well, because then this would have been a nice little area for me. I would have assumed that he would have taken like Stoned Ape or Spy Mort or somewhere to kind of solidify his corner, but for whatever reason, he jumped over and putting the instant pressure on Jewish Star. Now the Jewish Star Empire is in a predicament, and what will he do? So he said, fine, you're going to go jump over me. I'm going to take another strong player in Stoned Ape, and you've already got a ton of contention down here in this corner. Now Jubal Fett gets 2 picks, right? Because he's the first, and then he'll get his next 2 picks. So the boards develop. Again, I was pleading with him behind the scenes, do not take Macomber. I really don't want you to do that. And so he took Grasshopper and Hex, continuing to keep his alliance along the northern edge. He's not giving himself any room for eating another empire, but he's just keeping his people together. So then we go back to Jewish Star Empire, who gets to pick. And what will he do? He takes Potato Is Me, and it's really more of a geographic move, right? So now he's basically trying to surround Bellum. Lofty, with his 4th teammate, picks Lawrence. An interesting pick, strong player, kind of cuts off Jubal Fett. Again, I would have thought he would have done like a Spy Mort or Gizny, but nope, he goes up and grabs Lawrence. So now we're back to Bellum, who took Kane and then took an aggressive pick on Luke. He decided to get Bimbo. Again, probably makes sense trying to stay a little bit consolidated, but you can see how interwoven the Jewish Star Empire is with Bellum's team. And then it gets to me. And I get 2 picks here. And again, I get 2 picks, and then I'll get defaulted to whoever's left. And so this was probably the hardest decision I make in the draft. I know that Yars is a new player. Awesome Dude is a new player. Karen, I've never played with, I think is new-ish. Tenerizu and Bio, I know both are strong players. Macomber, strong player. And Chicago Reaper played last time, and he's a newer player as well. I knew I did not want to get anyone over here, even though, like, Spymort I respect as a player. I mean, I would just be completely sacrificing anyone that got drafted from me on this side of the map. So it was important that I do not get stuck with anyone over here. So if I would have taken... So first of all, I needed to take Macomber. Like, I knew that I needed... Like, I needed him. But then between Chicago, Tenerizu, Bio, and Yars, Awesome Dude, between these folks... my decision was I wanted to keep as many holes on my side that would be not desirable for other people to pick, so I would get them because I get the last one. So that was kind of me rolling the dice, and so I pick on my next pick Macomber, the no-brainer. I needed him, and then Yars. And again, now what that sets me up is I have a solid base. I've got Tenerizu that GB and I can attack. I got Bio that Dark Lord and I can attack. And I've been talking with Jubal Fett, I said, all right, let's leave Chicago Reaper open, and Macomber and Belson can split Chicago Reaper. That was what I was like, that's perfect. And I knew I would get one of those. I was hoping I would get one of those three, but either way, the other two, I'm set up for success. So then now I sit and wait and I watch. And so Bellum, with his next pick, takes Anares, which again makes sense, closest person to keep his people a little bit together. Lofty then picks Darmody, makes sense, try to connect, make sure his people are connected. Jewish Star Empire then takes, who did he take? Oh, Awesome Dude. Again, trying to, because like, what were his choices, right? Oh, because I was talking to him and saying, because he was like, oh, maybe I'll take Bio. I'm like, you can take Bio, but I'm going to kill him. And I was saying that. I told everyone, if you take any of these people, I will kill them, and so you're just down a player immediately. And basically, it's not negotiable. I'm going to do it. So if you take any of these three players, they're just dead. And the reason I wanted that, because I didn't want any of these three taken, so I would get them. Because if any of them started taking these players, then I'm stuck with someone who gets killed off. And my gambit played out. So he took Awesome Dude, which is actually not bad for him. And then Jubal Fett gets 2 picks. And again, I told him, take who you want, but whoever you take there, he knows the drill. He took Gisney. Makes sense. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then where's his 6th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6. What am I doing? Okay. Right. And then so JSE. Oh yeah, he got Gisney. Then JSE picks up Spymort. Again, because I was telling him don't pick my people. So he picks Spymort to try to keep him alive, try to keep his person alive, although no, it's a dangerous spot for him as well. And then Lofty is stuck with one of these 3 players. The closest player is Bio. Makes sense. I was disappointed. But so be it. And then it was just down to Bellum. Bellum either is going to take Tenor or Chicago Reaper, and I get the other. And he selected Tenor, which did this. Now, here's the big... If it would have gone the other way, if I would have had Tenor, I would have been more consolidated. Bio would have been super easily picked off. And this would have been an easy food, which would have meant I could have worked more easily with Jubal Fett. By doing this, Chicago Reaper and Mac have nowhere really to go except into Jubal Fett. So that choice by Bellum forced my hand into not really being able to work with Jubal Fett. So looking on the outset here, these are the teams. I feel like I'm going to have to put these 2 guys here. Are going to have to go up there. I'm going to kill Tenor and Bio, and then Yars is going to either need to work with Jewish Star Empire to kill Luke, or work with Bellum's team to kill Jewish Star Empire, to kill Gingy. In the middle, I want to keep peace in here so Dark Lord doesn't get attacked by these folks, so he can help me on Bio. GB's got nothing to do but grow and kill Tenor. So that is the draft. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like it was, for someone to pick last and get as solid as a grouping as I did, pretty happy. All right, so we move from the draft to our first game image, and here we are, cycle 0, tick 0. The game has just been paused. In a few hours it will be unpaused and we'll begin. So let's go over some specifics. First of all, you see, look how beautiful this is. We have vision of our entire alliance. We've had plenty of time to coordinate. Everyone's familiar with the Stone Dape tools and can see what everyone's doing and tweak routes accordingly. Looking back at what's going on here, Chicago Reaper and Mac both need to push into Jubal Fett, unfortunately. The problem is Belson and Jubal Fett, those two are stronger than the combined of Chicago and Macomber. Um, and I think we just lose that 2v2. I'm hoping we can at least hold for now. And we won't even have a tech advantage because, as you can see, they're going to have 4 solid. We'll have 3. We'll connect. So we're not going to have any advantage early on. And actually, Jubal Fett, if you look, he's got not a ton of room towards us, but a ton of room here to expand. Belson doesn't have a great amount of expansion capabilities, so that could be to our advantage, but we really can't mess up. It's a lot is riding on Chicago playing out of his mind against Belson. But in the Northwest, that's what's probably going to happen. I just had a conversation with Jubal Fett. Pre-game, we were basically like, hey, let's you, me, and Lofty against the South. And I thought that's how it was going to go. Once we got Chicago, now got another mouth to feed up there, and he's the most obvious place to go. Couple that with when I spoke with Lofty, it's like, hey, let's work together. He said he's already too tightly interwoven with Jubal Fett that they must work together, and has a hard alliance with Bellum. So there's the 1, 2, 3. That means Jewish Star Empire and my team are on the outs, on the wrong end of the 2v3. That's exactly what I did not want to happen. So from Lofty's perspective, he's solid, and he's okay losing bio. But that's a problem that he basically intends to be attacking Spy Mort. He says out of the gate, Spy Mort must be killed. That is a non-negotiable, just like my non-negotiable over here, which quite frankly I'm fine with because Spy Mort's really strong, and I'm okay to see him go away. But that will take away one of Jewish Star Empire's teammates. And basically, everyone will have lost one. So Spy Mort dies, Bio, and Tenerzu. Well, I guess Jubal Fett and I would both still be at our full team. So, Bellum deferred negotiations with Kane to Kane, and Kane is said he understands that we have to kill Tenerzu, and is basically saying that Yars should work with Luke to attack Jewish Star Empire, which of course is what he would want us to do, and otherwise we don't really have any interaction with them. Jewish Star Empire and I actually had quite a lengthy chat. I mean, I've worked with him the most, and I fully trust Jewish Star Empire will keep his word and will honor it and never stab me to the point of annoyance to the other team, even if it's to his own detriment. So I'm inclined to work with him, and working with Jewish Star Empire means that Yars and Gingy deal with Luke. And so when you look at what that looks like down here, Yars has a long path, and Gingy and Luke are going to fight right away. I don't know if I assume Jewish Star Empire, I'm not sure if he's going to try to kill Luke too. I don't think so. I think he's just going to establish a border and look to go to the north, because to his north is his ally, and then we start getting to the enemy in here, and go back to the picture. I think Jewish Star is going to try to get up and help, or I guess he would be attacking Bellum. But I think he's going to leave Luke to Yars and myself, which then frees these 4 up to deal with these 4. All right. So in the northwest corner again, we got the 2-on-2. For me, I'm going to zoom in. Here's the tactical conversation, the big decision. We've got bio, and if you look at this, the P, it's a 10-hour journey. For me, it's a 9-hour journey. So I get there first. Okay, and I want that. I also want this, which is going to be a 10-hour journey and a 10-hour journey. So who gets the defensive bonus? Whoever has the shortest range. So it's both 3.320, 262. So I can get to both of these stars first and create this as my border. Now we notice that Bio's got 10 carriers queued up to go. So I'm assuming he's got carriers to go to both of these as well. I'm putting 5 just in case he sent 10 to 1. At this level, at this level, if you send 10 ships and you defend with 5, you win. So you only need 5 ships to defend against 10 and still come out on top. So I can get, no matter what he does, I can get both of these two. Now, if he sends troops from this star, they can get there in 12 hours. So that's another 10 stars, and that's going to be hard for me to recapture. So he might be able to, and the problem is because that is 12 hours, and it would take me 16 hours. So this is going to be highly contentious. And all I can hope then, right, is that we've got Dark Lord very much wants to get over here and get in on Bio, and we just got to do some work. We just got to do some work and try to deal with him right away, because we got Tenerizu, and it's going to be harder for me to get to Tenerizu. I'm just going to block some here. But if he starts pushing on me, I can't fight them both off, and I think I'm going to have to. Now, GB's got nowhere to go except take some stars behind him and push everything into Tenerizu. So hopefully, well, and I guess the point is, if Tenerizu pushes on me, then GB gets the stars, and that's fine. So this is a little 3-on-2 action. We'll see how this plays out. It's going to be some very fine-tuned technical moves to get the advantage. I did get 4 signs and focus on weapons first. So 1 day, 12 hours. We have what do we say? We have Chicago Reaper getting experiments, Mac getting banking. Yars needs range 2 to get in range, so he's getting range. And I think GB is also going to go weapons early, because they won't be able to get in touch with us, so we won't be able to get in trade range early. And then I forget what he's getting. I assume then terraforming or manufacturing. Well, here, let's take a look. Let's see. Here's the beautiful thing about this. I'm going to view as and manufacturing. Perfect. Okay, so we've got a lot of our bases covered there, and yeah, that's really the plan. Now we start the game in a few hours, and we'll see how it unfolds. We'll see how the alliances play out. I have a strong relationship with Jewish Star Empire, a decent one with Kane and Bellum, a good one with Lofty, a decent one with basically everybody for now, and I think everyone understands we're going to fight. So let's see how it goes. And we are off into cycle 1. Lots happened already just in this 20 hours. Let's start with what the plan was. Right, the plan was to kill Tenerizu, kill Bio, and then Yars either kill Luke with or work with Luke to kill Jinji. So, but probably work with JSC. That was kind of the plan. Attack Jubal Fett. What's transpired? Jubal Fett, apparently they voted. Are they going to work with Lofty or us? And clearly they voted Lofty. Lofty said he, was too intertwined, couldn't fight them, couldn't fight Jubal Fett, and Kane and Bellum understood that Tenerizu was going to be needed to be killed, but wanted us not to kill Luke. So that's kind of where things stood. So let's take a look at where things are at tactically, and we'll talk about what changed. We'll start at the top. Posturing, getting into position, Chicago, and Macomber against Jubal Fett and Belson. And nothing overly unexpected there. Chicago Reaper bought like everything on the first 4 stars, which really hurt him, but it is what it is now. You have GB, who is really just getting into position and circling around with a big attack. Tenorizu is expanding some, but again, not too. He's keeping all his things kind of in tight. We'll see which way he's going. And then Yars is again getting in position to see what is out here. And so that's all fine. Now, when we look at Bio, our first target. So Dark Lord and I are saying, let's go kill him. Let's go kill him, right? Between the two of us, we've got almost double his ships. Now here's the dilemma. There's 2 dilemmas. One is scan range was not enabled, meaning anyone can scan, anyone can trade tech with anyone else, meaning Bio is no longer isolated from his group. That's problematic, but still from a number of ships that he has, he's still limited. The problem then is Lawrence went and got his whole team, gave him tech, and he was fed enough to get experiments, gave it to his whole team, and they basically got everything upgraded. So we're like half a day behind him on that. So I came up with a plan, and basically the plan was we will not attack Bio or anyone on Lofty's alliance if they agree not to attack us and they agree to attack Jubelfett with us. So we would basically force that. And in return, we will not kill Bio. We will even create a formal alliance with Bio so we can't backstab him. It will be mechanically impossible for us to attack him as long as they work with us to kill Jubelfett. In return, they don't lose Bio. If they don't agree, then we kill Bio. And so that's what we're hoping happens, because then what we'll be able to do is I'll focus on Tenorizu, and we can kill these guys up here easier. Oh, the other thing that is because Sharon is basically coming in and looks like he's going to attack the Dark Lord. So we're going to have a hard time killing Bio anyway because of pressure from the other side, from the center. With the tech, it's going to be really painful. And so I'm like, you know what can we do? Well, all I want right now are these resources to be killing Jubelfett. I would like to control him, but if I can't, if Bio's controlling him and he's sending him into Jubelfett, that's fine with me. We'll kill Tenorizu, I'll get a path, and then we'll just, when it makes sense, we'll flip on him. So that's the big diplomatic thing. I'm still working a lot with Jewish Star Empire. He's going to give us terraforming. I'm going to give him banking. So we're essentially now working again we're working with everybody. I would say strongest with JSE, hopeful with Lofty, enemies with Jubelfett, and then we're still neutral with Kane Bellum's group. So that's where we're at. We'll see if they accept my proposal to spare Bio and to allow us to kill Jubelfett. Alright, we are in cycle number 2, and we progressed quite well. I'm feeling pretty good for this early in the game. I'm not too worried about the star count. This is really just kind of who got lucky with good spawns. What's important is the relationships and the alliances. So let me show you a couple of images that so Yars made this. This is showing from day 1 to day 2 the growth, and you can just kind of see, I don't know, I just thought it looked cool, a little animated GIF of the expansion of everyone across the galaxy. And so where that leaves us right now is this state. We are now in a state where we're engaged up here, and I'm going to show you a little battle between Macomer and Jubelfett. And we'll look into this a little bit more. So we have this front. With Bio, the Team Lofty, if you remember, I made a proposal to spare Bio in exchange for Lofty's team to attack Jubelfett, because my fear was green and blue were going to attack us, and that was going to be a problem. And then if they teamed up with Bellum, we're in bad shape. So I said, and they said, what would it take to not kill him? I said, I will not kill Bio if you guys attack Jubal Fett. And furthermore, we'll give you a formal alliance with both Dark Lord and myself, because they didn't believe me. They said, I'll give you a formal alliance, which mechanically handcuffs me so I cannot attack you. I will kill Tenorizu first, which, by the way, is what we're doing. So GB and I are attacking Tenorizu, and Bio, you can go attack them. They agreed to it overnight, and so we are in a state now where Dark Lord is going to attack Charon. Bio is going to come across him with their formal alliance to join the fight, while Not a Scam Paid, is attacking Jubal Fett from Jubal Fett's east, while we're attacking from the west, so we're kind of closing in on them. Supposedly Lawrence and iHex are fighting up here, so it's beautiful. It's exactly what we want. Everybody up here fighting. Let's us grow. Eventually we're going to have to end our relationship with Bio, but for now it's going to basically create a fight here that's not with us and allow GB and I to get big on Tenorizu, and for me to get up and help my alliance. I think once Tenorizu's done, GB probably swings south along the southern border. Yars is going to be going in and helping Jinji fight Luke. He'll cross this chasm with range 3 tomorrow, and he's going to grab this star, and then he can hit a double-pronged attack. However, we are waiting a day to give Bellum's team more time to kill Jinji, because what we actually want to happen is Jinji to die and us come in and clean up and kill them both. That's what we want to happen. So we want to be helpful in a way that helps us. Not surprising for anyone that knows me. So in the south, that's the plan. In the center, it's hold here. We have a relationship. Oh, I've traded terraforming. I've traded weapons. And then I gave banking, and I gave experiments, and I gave range to Jewish Star Empire's team, because Spy-Mort's getting clobbered up here. Stone Dape is getting clobbered here. Potato's basically AFK. So they're in trouble. So if all that's left is Jewish Star Empire and Awesome Dude, Jewish Star Empire will be loyal to me because I was helpful for him, and then it's basically another team member for me. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned, working it that way. So that's a high-level game plan of what's going on. If we take a quick look at some of what the specifics are, basically up here with Chicago and Belson, as soon as he gets range 2, will be able to strike anywhere. I told Chicago, get your ships up front. You need to be able to defend against that respond, because right now Belson is just cross over here and just get all these really good stars that are completely undefended. Don't want that. I do want to show this little Macomber owns this lookout tower, and let's take a look at how that may have transpired. This little GIF that Jubal Fett put together. So we'll let the GIF start over here. So basically they're sleeping. This little guy takes a step away. They're like, wait, why? Why do you do that? I don't know. It's a trap. No, I think he's an idiot. No, it's a trap. Go check. No, you go. We'll both go. Yep, he's an idiot. And so you know what? It's the simplest thing to do in this game is to make an error like this and forget to drop off at that location, and as a result you lose that, and now he's going to send in another 65 from his home star that'll be met with enough resistance that he'll lose this entire 65 ships as well. We've got a little forward expanse. We've got Bio, who's going to, he's really not going to do much, but it's giving us vision, if nothing else, of the back lines. So it'll be interesting to see what Not a Scam does, if he starts hitting over here for real or not. I hope so, because once Tenorizu's done, I'm going to be heading up this way myself. Like I said, then over here, Charon is doing something. Don't know what, but we're moving into position to deal with that. Lofty won't attack us. Awesome Dude won't attack us. So again, we're in good shape here. And then, like I said, Tenerizu, my fight. I did take over this star. I move in another 70, another 15, another 48. Got another 71 or so. So I've got a lot of ships that'll be heading south. And then on top of that, you've got 100 coming in from GB. So Tenerizu's days are numbered. He's also going to get this cluster. Basically, what we said is GB will get kind of the 8 southern stars. I'll get the 8 northern-ish. And then we'll move north, so no concerns there. And then last but not least, tactically speaking, is you got Yars. And like I said, he's going to move in and take Koi to get into position with these 80. But he's going to wait, and then he's going to group all these ships here. Actually, I'll ship them here. And then with range 3, he can jump over. And he'll be able to hit from the back end at the same time. So we're gonna wait for Gingy to lose more ships first, lose more ground. The only other thing that's probably worth noting is that Lawrence on Team Lofty has been being fed science, and so he got to experiment 3, which then allowed them to share it with his entire team, and then they were able to hit weapons 3. I'm on weapons for my alliance. I've still got a day, so it's 24. I had 1 day, 14 hours. So I am they are really far ahead. Now that being said, they're attacking my enemy. But it is inevitable that once green is diminished, I will be attacking him. But that is not today. So for today, we're looking good, but I think the big threat will probably be the Team Lofty. But what are you going to do? You can't fight them all day one. You got to team up with somebody. A quick update a few hours in. It's become evident about some betrayal. A trick, a ruse. Basically, the deal that I explained was just a farce, because essentially what it is Bio accepted my formal alliance, but did not accept the formal alliance of the Dark Lord, and therefore and then he waited for me to launch on Tenerizu, so all my ships going at Tenerizu, and he didn't accept the alliance with the Dark Lord. So now you have Karen and Bio 2v1ing Dark Lord, where I physically can't attack and retaliate against Bio. So well played. Tricky. Here's the plan, though. Still going to kill Tenerizu, and then still going to have GB and I come up and just kill Bio now. To save the Dark Lord, I'm going to be sending some ships over and try to get them, and then have Dark Lord either abandon or leave right as I'm getting there. So if I can get there before any particular star before Bio, I'll capture it, which then means Bio can't. So basically, I'm going to use the fact that we're in a formal alliance against him, so that I will be capturing the stars instead of him. And so that's why I'm hot-tailing it over here. I know he's got a head start on me, but hopefully he can defend enough while my ships get over, and I can basically take control of Dark Lord stars, meaning Bio can't attack me. I'm not breaking my alliance with him yet, just in case I'm wrong, but I think that's what's happening. But yeah, so good play. A little disappointing, but it actually probably works out in my benefit, because I consolidate team members and get these stars anyway, and then Bio dies anyway. So all it does is kind of make me stronger. So yeah, that's it. All right, we are in cycle 3. And I may have overreacted a little bit about the whole Bio betrayal thing and not doing the formal alliance, and because a few hours after that, I sent him, hey, what's going on? Please don't do this. And then he comes back, it was like 6 hours later, he's like, what the hell happened here? I'm offline for a few hours and you absolutely lose your shit. I just told him I missed him. Never Leave Me Again. And yeah, so I was mistaken, and it I made a bunch of messages and a couple of threats, and it was ugly. So Bio, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Needed to be patient and believe, but I just get so paranoid of this game, and it actually would have been a really good play. It would have been so good for him to do that. And I saw it too late. So either way, we're back on. The formal alliance is there. Now, one of the problems is my attacks on Tenerizu went really, really poorly because he got weapons 3 and I was still on weapons 2, and I took a bunch of really bad trades. I ended up losing the star that I had gained. So a few setbacks. However, big picture here, we're getting more and more trust built with Team Jewish Star Empire, and one of the members on their team is the Stoned Ape, who's at 13 science and doing their weapons, and so he gave us his weapons and will continue to do so. We've given their team multiple banking, and it's actually working out really well for both of our empires to do this. So with that, if we look at the assault on Tenerizu, you can see GB's getting some of these stars around here. Tenerizu is coming to defend, which he will probably be successful with. Especially when you look down here, you see he doesn't have a lot of reinforcements to defend. Tenerizu did a nice counterattack, and he's going to go ahead and recapture this really good star for a worthless rock. And we'll reclaim it. He'll reclaim it. He's got 121 ships coming up, but it's just, it's well done on Tenerizu, and he's fighting strong. I will take this good star here, and that's juicy, and I should be able to hopefully get this one as well. I've got 43 that right now that they'll land and win, but I'm certain that they will blow up because he'll send these guys up as well, and I have some ships over here waiting in the wings. I want to keep them in place because I don't want to have what happened over there. I do not want to lose this star at all. I have another 44 coming. I'm hoping that those 44 is able to make a dent, and then that'll time when this 121 gets into view, and we'll continue to whittle him down. But yeah, I took a bunch of bad trades, so he's like 30 up on me, but GP's looking solid. So I'll continue to just do that there. I have 44 that could go and accelerate a little bit, and I'm kind of contemplating I may just send them up now to try to beat up on the back end of Jubal Fett. And the reason for that is when you look over here with our friend Macomer's doing outstanding. It looks like I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen here. Looks like we lose. I think he's going to hold it, but he'll be pretty weak. And we were basically we're kind of looking at the front door of Jubal Fett's home star, and you just have Chicago launching here. That's a big deal. If he can take those and hit the home star, if we're able to take that home star, it's game over for Jubal Fett. Now the problem up north is Belson. Belson is just outplaying the hell out of Chicago. Chicago, again, just built no industry, didn't send his ships up, and so now you can see Belson is just going to pick off all those stars in the north. So one thing I'm thinking at this point is have Macomer pick up the southern stars from Chicago suicide into Jubal Fett, and try to even the playing field out that way. We want to get that before Grasshopper shows up and comes over, which should not be a big thing, which is, again, so all that being said, is this is our biggest weakness right now, so I probably need to come up and start helping, and I'm okay if we kind of slowly grind here because the pressure's off. Now what we have is the Dark Lord got a couple, I think he took this star from Karen already, and should be able to defend and maybe get another star. But as soon as these, it'll be what, 230 230-ish star, 230, yeah, 270. It's going to be a lot of ships traversing, and if he actually does follow through, which now I think he will, that'll be a big deal. Okay, last on the front is down in the south. So we have the situation with Luke and Gingy, and at this point we are so in bed with Geostar Empire. We are dependent on their weapons. They've been nothing but fair in the negotiations, and if you look at big picture, it makes sense for us to align because we have safety here in this clump, and they're going to want to fight the south and the north. So at no point would we need to fight them until the end, so we're in bed with them now, which means that Luke needs to be attacked. We're about to get done with ranged 4 or 3, which means Yars can jump over here and grab this star. Meanwhile, there's coordination around attacking here, so hopefully Luke is able to go down. Now Gingy has lost some stars, like these were Gingy stars. He's losing ground, but that being said, he's still got 100 more ships than me with my stupid trades, so he lost some, but he lost some stars, but not a lot of ships. And Geostar Empire's coming down to assist, so I think we'll win in the south. I know we'll win here. I think we're going to win the middle. North is our biggest threat, so that's where we stand on a lot of excitement. A lot of people trying really hard to win this game, and we're only on cycle 3. Cycle 4, things just got really bad. Let's start off with the biggest news, and it starts off with, spoiler alert, Dark Lord just quit. But what triggered that was Bio declared war on Dark Lord, which is not surprising. Like we thought that was, you know, he was basically, he had all his ships sitting here. He wasn't moving forward to attack here, and like he said he was going to. So obviously one of the things he was contemplating is, should I just declare war and attack Dark Lord? Now I had this ship here to try to do what I'm starting to do now, is take these and basically consolidate so Bio can't take them, and that Dark Lord could just defend against purple. But in fact, that's not what happened. In fact, what happened is Dark Lord just had a hissy fit and cried and quit. Let me show you the chat. The chat, basically it's, well, I'm done. I'm frustrated by this game. We had a chance to wipe out Bio early and we didn't. Now he's going to wipe me out, and Gray is weak. My gut was to attack Bio. I'm just confused why we didn't do it. So much trust in something which was obviously going to happen. Stalling tactics. So, he may be right. As a matter of fact, in hindsight, he is right. If you go back and watch the video at the time, I don't think his assessment of the situation was very valid. He was in no position to kill Bio, and if he moved all his ships over, he was going to get attacked by Kieran. The assumption was that his backlines were safe, which was not true. And so had we engaged on Bio, he would have gotten attacked from behind. Now, it would have ultimately turned out better because he just quit anyway. I saw how strong GB was and thought, we could kill him faster, and this stalling tactic works to our advantage. If he does go off and attack purple, then that's great. If he didn't, we'd still kill Tenarzu quick. What happened that was unfortunate was Tenarzu got the weapons, and I took a bunch of bad trades, and it's really stalled out us taking him. Now, I mean, Tenarzu's dead, right? He's going to die. I'm 100 ships up on him, and then so there's 550 ships that are focused on him right now, more than he has. So it's he's going to die. The problem is it's going to be too slow, and Dark Lord would have taken some hits. So this is a bad move in a normal game, but in a team game where you literally are considered a winner if your team wins, there's no place for this. Just don't be a baby and fight it out, even if you're in a bad position. Yes, we probably should have attacked Bio, but like that's multiple days ago at this point, and we can't undo that. Let's just try to make the best of it. So yeah, Dark Lord, I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of that move. I mean, even Chicago, who's getting destroyed here, I guess, and I don't remember if I said this yesterday. We basically said, hey, Dark Lord, please let us take your stars. I'm sorry, Chicago, let us take your stars. Let Macomber get him to consolidate. That'll make us stronger as a whole. I don't think he liked it, but he was willing to do it, and he still finished experiments and still sent that out on his own dime. I mean, I think, that's what you're looking for in an ally, and so I absolutely appreciate it. He still, sent in his ships. He's doing some damage. He's helping the team, and that's what it's about. Sometimes you just get stuck in a bad position. Okay, so speaking of positions, let's go through the front lines. In the north, it's Grim, or we're consolidating. We did some damage. Jubal Fett is also weak, so Macomber's double his size. The problem is he's also facing Belson, and hopefully with getting another homeworld, it'll be able to allow him to hold off. He's going to have to be on his own for a little bit. We need to finish off in this front. Again, we already kind of looked at it. We need to finish off Tenerzu, and then I need to focus on Bio. And then I need, then and only then can I start pushing up into Jubal Fett or push east more. So it's a tough situation right now. But if he falls, then I'm pretty much dead too. Which very well may be what happens. So yeah. So now, and again, I launched, even after the declaration of war, I still launched on Tenerzu because I feel like I have to get rid of him. Now this attack wins. Right now I'm up a weapons. I'm assuming he'll get it before then and I'll win, but by less. I still have another 100 that I can send in. But we just need Tenerzu to get his ships heading up and attacking. Even if we take some losses, we need to get rid of that. Now, the only good news is Yars, who was able to make the trek over this long void and take one of Luke's stars, attack from Koi, take another Luke star, and between the two of those, 180. There's only 80 there now. It would be tight. He would be able to take it if Luke does not get weapons, but he probably will. But is it worth taking the risk? It might be. It just might be. Either way, that's going to tie up all these resources and make this more vulnerable for Gingy to be able to fight back. So what's keeping us alive right now is our relationship with the Geostar Empire and the science machine of Stoned Ape, who's churning out weapons faster than anyone else. Lawrence, who is the other big science player, seems like they're pushing out terraforming, which is great, but weapons actually right now is a little bit better for us. So that's where we're at. We are in utter chaos on day 4. Could be a short-lived video series. I may just be spectating very soon. Alright, and here we go on cycle 5. Bio has declared war against me. The time has expired. I did go ahead and take 2 more of his stars, started losing the ones on the back side. Shifting my ships to the front line, not too concerned about that front. Tenerzu, he's down just a handful of stars, and it's just now a day or 2 before he's finished off, and then GB can help with Bio and kind of push up this direction. So good news there. In the south, we have good progress on dealing with Luke. Pushed in, we had Yars go ahead and get these 4 stars. Gingy pushed up and really have him on his heels. Luke is definitely on the back foot there. So good on all of those news. Been trying to get an alliance between Bellum, JSC, and myself, and we just can't reach an agreement. So right now I think what we need to do is just finish off Tenerzu, finish finish off Luke, make some progress, and hopefully people be more willing to negotiate once they have these other kind of vested interests gone. The really bad thing, though, is on this front. We have Chicago Reaper like pulling all his troops away, basically giving all the stuff for free to the enemy. He really just needs to stand tall, take the hit, but hopefully he'll do that. We have Belson, making a push here on the headquarters that Macomber took, and he's fighting like a boss against Belson and Jubelfett. And now we also have Grasshopper showing up, so it's kind of a wreck. And so I need to get up there and help him, either directly or through bio, really soon. So, but to make matters worse, not only do you have to deal with bio, we have Karen coming in here, and then we also have Not a Scam, so Scampade, coming as well. So it's a bit ugly, but if we can hold off this northern push, well, that's what we have to hold off the northern push. Alright, a quick Psycho 5 update. Two big things happened. One is Tenorizu basically is conceding defeat. He's left his homeworld. He's going to suicide into me. Sent me a nice message. He played great. Actually really impressed with his defense. But basically he's going to suicide into me, which means these 80 ships I was about to send to the front line to kill Bio now has to defend yet again. Sent urgent message, so now GB should be able to go and clean this up. I hope to get more than like 3 stars, but whatever. And then there's a bit of a stalemate down here, and I did ask Yars to come and help, so he'll have about 250, 300. And how long will that take them? In one day, he'll be in position to strike up and support up here. Cycle 6. Let's go through the changes here of what's been going on. The most exciting piece is, if you look at the red on the map right here, you'll see Tenorizu about dead. He did turn around his ships and defend his homeworld, but he's whittled down now to 32 ships, and those will be gone when these 202 or whatever arrive, 112. So yeah, he'll be dead in 12 hours. So that's wonderful news. The other great news is Luke is dead. Essentially, he should be dead. You basically have 86 suiciding and 119, 120 from Jinji, and then these 57 in theory should land with 17 to spare. Now it's possible actually he could get weapons and that doesn't finish him off, but if not, then maybe this group would. Either way, it's going to be tight. And either way, that's all that Luke has left alive. Like, he literally has one other. He's got this star that's got one industry, and that's it. So all these stars down here are basically just undeveloped, which is great. So when you zoom out now, all this green is going to be ours, which is outstanding. So what'll happen is these stars down here will help push in with Jinji. And against Bellum, and that's all that we need to do. Jewish Star Empire, he's doing Jewish Star Empire things over here, and essentially this entire half of the map does not exist to us, does not matter. We've been still trading with the Stoned Ape, who is the leader in weapons, and keeping us alive, and we're providing him with basically everything else. We have now 4 people left alive, right? Because Chicago's dead, and we lost the Dark Lord when he quit. So we're down to 4 players. Bellum's team, with Tenorizu and Luke dying, is down to 4 players, right? They're just down to Bellum, to Kane, Bimbo, and Anaris. So that's that. The more interestingly then is on the front line with Bio. I'll be able to get both. I'll be able to get range when the next tick happens. So we're ahead in tech, which is the wonderful thing, and he's slightly ahead of me on the front, but he's kind of not attacking yet. And I'm able to get these other 150 because Tenerizu's gone to come up to the front line and match what he has. But more importantly now, in how long is this? 18 ticks, 300 ships land, 250 will win, and you got another 150 about to launch as well. Again, wonderful. And then what that means is I asked him, can go into his homeworld of Meathook, just send those 450 in, because 450 is half of what Bio has. He probably could rally all this and push back and defend it, which he'll have to do, which will allow me to push in and take a bunch of stars, which is really, I'm kind of desperate to do. While that's happening, GB now has nowhere else to go. Well, I guess he could go south, but we're like, no, come north. We need you north. So everything's going to rally. GB needs to grab this star, and he'll head into this fray as well. And the reasoning is because we have both, not only Bio, but we have Karen and we have Not a Scam all coming this way as well. So it'll basically be the three of us versus the three of them. It's probably, well, it'll be the biggest conflict of the game for us in terms of deciding what happens. If I hope we're able to take Bio out pretty quick now and kind of get back to where we were and make this line about like that pretty quickly, because again, Scamp is not, well, I know he's a great player. I don't know that Karen is that strong of a player. So I think we can probably outplay Karen, just being honest. But I remember from game one, Scampade is a very strong player. So we'll see how this pans out. But I hope we'll be able to take advantage of our initial assault on Bio. And then the last front here, I'm now in a formal alliance with Macomber, and you can see I spent a lot of my money last cycle getting 2 warp gates. He bought 1 warp gate that allowed me to get 156 ships up here. I need to figure out now exactly where I want to send them. Basically, there's 3 fronts from what I understand. Right, so Mud is the home world for Jupelfet. So one thing is, he said I can get some ships out here to help defend against Jupelfet and kind of this southern area, which is also where we have ships coming in from Grasshopper. Another area is really up top here, this Ninja headquarters. This is Chicago's old headquarters to defend against Belson as well. I don't really know what's best. I asked him, and he basically had, there's 3 choices. There was over here, here in the middle, or up top. So I need to figure that out. But my intention now, looking at the map, is these stars here. So this half will push into Bio. These half here will come up and defend. That's why I want to get a little bit more to get some more growth. Yeah, and because up here we're fighting Belson, we're fighting Grasshopper and Jupelfet. So the 2 of us are fighting 3 of them, and that's not good odds. So I think as soon as, if I'm able to push it on Bio and get this cluster of stars and move up here, then probably all of my ships will go up here, and then those 2 can push into the middle. I think that's what the plan is, and then hopefully nothing blows up too bad over here, and hopefully no one else shows up. Like what we can't have happen is Hex and Lawrence or Dermody showing up. I think they're messing around there, but that's the only thing that would make this completely unattainable. And yeah, I tried to rally the troops politically and get Bellum and Kane in a conversation with Stoned Ape and JSE and myself to get the South to unite, and it just, the proposal I had was basically for all of us to unite and push forward. Kane and Bellum were of the mind that if they do that, all that's doing is putting them in position to be third, which is actually true. And they said right now they're going to get third either way because they're tucked away. So they're like, well, we're in third. You're going to propose that we still get in third, so why would we do that? Let's just keep going. So no deal for now in the South. So I think one thing, and then the other question is, okay, well, Jubelfett and Lofty, will they fight? And like, oh, maybe there's tensions, but again, if they fought, that just means again my team wins. So they have no incentive to do that. But the fact that I'm strong is going to create a tighter bond. If I get weaker, that could create more tensions. But my intention is to not die. So I think the North is going to stay united. I think the South is going to stay split. We're tight with JC, and we'll see where it goes. And I think this is a good place to end the first video. We've got a lay of the land of what this custom game is. We went through the draft of how the teams were formed. We had this first 6 days, which counting day 0, it's been a week now of play, and we're down 2 team members. There's a few other 2 teams down for some players. We have some fronts established, so I think we are past the early game and can start mid-game into the next video. Hopefully this was an interesting start, and let's see where it goes from here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click on the link for the next episode, and don't forget to click subscribe for more content.